What's up, Village? Feels good to be back. Enjoyed a very fun vacation, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm tired.
You're tired from the vacation?
No, I'm tired from the working out.
No.
I think I'm just hungry. That's what it is.
Probably. San Diego was such a fun time.
It was. It was great not to have to hear Mama Q, Mama Q, Mama Q.
Yeah.
Not to have to get up super early or be woken up early with, can we have breakfast yet?
Yeah. There was this one time though when she cried all night. Yeah, she was just an emotional, laughing wreck because we had fun at the comedy show.
I was gonna say I did not
had
cry.
Fun. Oh yeah, you was.
No, yeah, I was.
Teared up.
Oh my gosh, I was dying from the minute that chick Angel came on the stage and started twerking, which I was like, is she gonna twerk? And then that's the first thing she does. I was like, oh,
What did you say before she came on stage though?
I said, I was like, do you think, I was asking you, I was like, do you think she's gonna twerk? Because I don't know why, but I'm like super excited and I want to see her twerk like in real life person. And then she did. She came on and she started twerking.
Yeah.
I was like, ah!
Dropped it like it's hot right before her eyes.
Oh, it was perfect.
We're in the second row too. It was dope to be that close. Glad we weren't close up and personal because some of the audience members got a rude awakening.
They got singled out for a minute. I thought
one girl was twice.
Yeah.
Tahir and Kev on stage got it.
I know. I know. That is so. I didn't think about that. That is true.
Yeah.
I know when Tahir went after. No, it wasn't Tahir. It was Kev on stage.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, don't look down. I'd actually put my head down, so I look up.
But we're not going to say too much.
Oh, yeah.
Just in case you're random and not random, but just in case you're out of the California area and you have the opportunity to see the show.
Yes.
Go see the show because it's hilarious.
And the show is
Slightly Problematic Tour Take 2.
Yes.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun out there in San Diego. Went to the opening night, which was Friday night, the 16th, which is in the past by the time you see this. And it was fun.
So you know a really odd something that I'm going to say?
What's an odd something?
Because when we got there, we were there pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mr. Kevin Fredericks passed us.
Yeah.
I immediately went to look at his face just because on screen, like, his complexion looks so clear. And I'm like, wow, like, his skin is really good. He has no kind of pores. I know he has pores because everybody has pores. You have to have them. But you can't, like, his are not visible. And I'm just like, wow. So blessed. I know, super odd, but that is literally.
You went skin searching.
That's what I zeroed in.
For the 3 seconds you had to see.
I didn't do teeth. Normally it's teeth. I didn't look. I wasn't paying attention to his teeth, but yeah, his complexion is just.
Oh yeah, it was cool to see him. He did do the double take. He went. He went his eye levels like, oh, the head is not there. Let me. Okay, what's up? What's up?
Yeah, I mean, I think most people would do that considering you're.
I know.
6-foot giant.
But I rarely have to do that. Like I'll look, I see your head. I rarely do that.
Well, but I mean, the space-wise.
Yeah, that's true.
If you see someone at a distance, you don't necessarily have to look up.
Yeah.
Unless you're like 5'1".
But he did come in like VIP because I was like, okay, there's Kev on stage. There's Joshy Gons. Joshy. Where's Tahir? Angel? No? Oh. They were already in there, probably.
Yeah, probably.
So he came in VIP style.
But anyways, we digress very much.
No, we didn't. Gave y'all exclusive knowledge of what we did this weekend.
Right.
So now let's get into the show. That's the new thing. That's the new signal.
An interesting.
That's go time.
gesture. Alrighty, so hello everybody. You're here with another Hot Seat podcast. I'm Q.
I'm Flo.
And today is going to be the end of going through Hot C. So we're on C, which is communication.
Love to state the obvious. So let's get it. HCO. We're going to switch the words out, and it's not hot communication open. It is high conversation orientation. That is at the top of the list. You'll see the image at the bottom. We have low conversation orientation, which is south. And then to the east, we have high conformity orientation. And then to the west, we have low conformity orientation. And so what we're going to get into is communication, not orientation, but communication, because there are different styles in which families operate when it comes to speaking with one another. So you got pluralistic, consensual, protective, laissez-faire. Laissez-faire.
Why did you say consensual twice?
Because I needed to get my mind in the right consensual word. I had to say it twice.
Yeah, okay.
So I can get honed in and focused. Focus in. So we're just gonna give you pretty much based on the article that we read, just pretty much what they mean, and then we're gonna get into where we stand within that and why Hot C is the form for us. So conversation is about family. Families are capable of having open conversations and discuss any topic freely. I like that one.
Let's just conversation. Like,
no, it could be from academics to whatever Z word.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't. Anyway.
Xenophobia. I don't know what that means, but that's a word that popped in my head just now. Academics to xenophobia. Any and everything you can talk about.
I think that's actually next, but okay.
Might start with an X, but I don't know. I
Doesn't
see
matter.
Z and O, P, A. We're going to look this up.
So I was gonna say, it has it up there as conversation because it's like that is what conversation is. The ability to talk about any topic freely is having a conversation. Two or more people are engaging.
Is it with an X? I was close.
Yeah, just a
I
few
was
letters away.
2 letters away, 1 letter. in between.
So in having conversations, a conversation style could
Go any direction. So conformity, families with individuals,
C.
a parent, usually, who has the authority to make the final decisions.
pluralistic. It's conversation, but without conformity. So you have open conversations and equal opportunities for input throughout the family members, and everybody adds in to make whatever the final decision is.
You got the next one.
Oh,
I did too.
sure. And then there's consensual. I think this one was the one that kind of confused me. With conversation and conformity, family members are able to openly communicate their thoughts and feelings, but also value conformity within the family unit. Parents or caregivers are usually the ones who make the final decision. Okay, it wasn't that one. Yeah. So normal conversation, parents, guardians, authority figures make the final decision, even though everybody is allowed to put in their input.
You got the next one. I'll take the last one.
A laissez-faire.
Laissez-faire.
Without conversation or conformity. Families are emotionally detached from each other. Children are typically free to make their own choices without interest from parents/caregivers. So you do you.
And then protective. Without conversation, but with conformity. Parents or caregivers expect their children to obey the rules. and do not usually trust their children to make their own decisions. That's a tough one.
So, what did you grow up in? I mean, thinking back to childhood, all those very many years ago.
Oh, lazy fare for sure. Lazy fare. We have to do whatever we want to do. Yeah. I know it's rare for a Black American family, but.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Except when it came to basketball?
Except when I picked my bottom lip from my parents slapping me, because that's not even true. No, we're protective. Protective for sure. These are the rules. Do as I say. Do as I say. do as I say. But as we got older, it did eventually get to lazy fare. Laissez. I'm just gonna say lazy fare.
It's not lazy. It's laissez.
Laissez faire. Laces. Laissez.
Thank you.
Laissez faire. Eventually got to that near the end of high school. It got to that because you have grown up in the protective, and then conformity is usually what you see. The man is usually one that makes the final decision. Very rarely did we have any consensual style of communication.
So, growing up protective with my grandparents. So, they were my grandparents, so protective.
Mm-hmm.
What we say, that's it. And then...
What we say? That sounds consensual.
No, my grandparents are saying what we say, that's it. Like,
gotcha.
Don't ask questions, no, like, I said this, that's the end of it. If we were with my mom, then it was more... I guess then it was more consensual.
Okay.
Yeah, with my mom it was more consensual, Everyone got to put in their input. She could actually take it under consideration and then decide what's going to happen.
Do you think that's because she's trying or wants to be the fun, cool parent because you stayed with your grandparents more? So she's more, what do you want to do? Let's do it.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't get that vibe where it was kind of like, let me just feed into whatever you want, since I'm not around a lot and I know, my parents are more so controlling. I didn't get that. It was just, my mom has always been a pretty laid back person, really open. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mhm. So, I mean, yeah, that would be it for us. Now,
so how were you with Rain? What type of conversation, communication style when it was just kind of the two of you? Because the grandparents were still there, and then
right.
the father every now and then.
So it, I guess it would be more, it depended because Ray, she's young. So there was always like the protective.
Mm-hmm.
So it was protective / consensual. So obviously there were things where you're too young to make a reasonable decision about this. You're 5. So, it was like, this is what we're doing, period. But on those things where I could, like, okay, well, I think she would be able to come to a reasonable idea or understanding with this particular topic, then, we would have those conversations. And those were more, those were the consensual conversations when they were more about, like, what she's going to be wearing, what are we going to be eating for the day. Like, she wasn't a kid where it's like, candy, pizza, fast food. Like, it was, can we have some, like, baked chicken, and let's have broccoli. Like, like, it was, she would make reasonable decisions. So on those things, it's like, oh yeah, I could definitely include her. And then of course her helping me, so that also helped. But of course, like I said, there was, because she was little, there was the protective where, no, you don't get an input. This is exactly what we're doing. That's it. Like, like bedtime. I couldn't reasonably be like, what time do you think we should go to sleep? She would never.
Yeah.
Like whenever she passed out is when bedtime was. So I'm like, no, that she doesn't function, or she never functioned well without getting good sleep. So I was not going to put her or myself through that. So
yeah, okay, cool. I would say for when it was just me and Yvonne, it was more of I think the foundation of raising the child and how we communicated, how I communicated, started out with conformity and protective. So, because again, a child can't make any decisions. Do you want to brush your teeth today? You're in the phase of learning how to do things. So I think the communication was really, really bred out of conformity and protective in the beginning stages. But as she got older and was able to communicate, speak, say some words, then I tried to do just conversation, which is open conversations and be able to discuss any topic freely.
Look at this, because this is gonna irritate me.
Look at what?
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you see, 4.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, hold on. Which one was it on here? Oh, conformity. Conversation is not it's not a style.
Oh, wait.
It just is conversation.
Blah blah blah. Hold on, I didn't even catch that.
Yes, that's why I was like, what are you doing? So conversation is a style of communication.
I would say
as is conformity.
Yes.
So the three.
Those are styles. I got it. Different styles.
These are the styles.
And these are the 4 categories.
Yes.
I can't read.
Oh.
Leave me alone. But if you look at the thing, it's high conversation. Oh, dang. That's what happens when you're out of school for almost a decade. When I graduated, 2015? Yeah, from college, that's almost a decade. All right. So I would say consensual.
Okay.
I would say consensual. It was consensual.
Consensual. The whole time, just consensual or protective and consensual?
I would say I was. How's this line? I was in the middle.
Consensual, you have a lot of conversation with a lot of conformity.
Well, I didn't make the final. Well,
I would
have to.
Yeah, because you're the adult.
I'm the adult.
No, Dad, I'm going to go to sleep at this
do
time.
That when I'm 80.
Yeah, so.
But yeah.
Consensual, protective as well.
Yeah, consensual, protective.
You know, I can see that. Sorry.
I would say I was, because the other categories give out laissez-faire, which is no. I will have that type of communication when she's out and on her own. So I'm going to care, but I'm not going to detach myself from my child, because it's talking about families are emotionally detached. No, we'll be emotionally attached, but the communication, like you don't need to go through, is it okay, Dad, if I do? It's your money. I mean,
right.
You want to go eat the Snickers bar, I can't stop you from eating the Snickers bar. You're living your own life. So we don't need that, style of communication where you're seeking permission to do something. So that's where I would say laissez-faire would be later. Pluralistic, I would say, Jesus, my dad just, come on now. He knows we're live.
Come on.
I would say pluralistic is more so, Lord have mercy. Parents, I tell you. Oh my God.
Here, I'll just text him.
How do I turn this off? There we go. We don't have to worry.
No?
All right, back. My apologies. And we don't edit, so that's real time.
Yeah.
So, what was I saying?
I don't know. For whatever reason, you were going through all of them. like at what point and stage in life you will even have these.
Yeah, so pluralistic, yes, that does come in every now and then because you do want to know what your child is thinking and what it is that they're interested in or would like to do.
So I was going to say,
go ahead.
Before, so I was going to say, I think that with probably most parents who, it's like a one parent situation.
Single parent?
Well, I mean, I never considered myself a single parent because I had my grandparents and my sister and my auntie and like my whole family out there helping me. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like it was just me and Ray and I was on my own. So I never considered myself like traditional single parent.
That's family support. You're still the
I know.
Child, mother, father. That immediate connection, I think, is what people are talking about.
I know, and I said I never considered myself.
Okay.
So I understand the generalistic, normalistic.
So what did you say?
Terms.
You were a single half parent?
No. If people asked me, I would say yes. I would be considered a single parent. That's literally what it's. I would be considered a single parent. I would never say I'm a single mother. I would never say just that statement.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So what I was saying was, for most people, I think who are, one parent who's primarily taking care of the child in any aspect, I think that most of them have the protective consensual combo because unfortunately in that situation, oftentimes children have to grow up quicker because you don't have that other adult. So it's not like they can just be their normal childlike selves completely, if that makes sense. So
it makes all the sense in the world because that's one of the conversations I've had with Yvonne's mother. It's just our decisions as parents has now put our child in a situation where they do have to grow up a little bit faster than normal because you only got half.
Right.
You only got half. So, yeah, I gotta go do this. I gotta do that. I'm gonna need you to do this and that. That'll help me out and then work. So, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I was gonna say. I think that combination style comes into practice more so with like single type parents or single type families.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. But we're no longer a single type family. So where do you think we would be at?
As a blended family, I think that it's difficult to say because the kids are, the girls are so much older. Okay, so 5 years. So it's not really so much older, but the maturity level between the girls and, the little prince are vastly different. So whereas with the girls we can adopt, in certain situations, trust me, in all, but in certain situations we can do more of a laissez-faire to give them some freedom so that they can start to understand, so that way when they're in their adulthood they're not just like blindsided by like, oh my god, I gotta figure everything out by myself. Like, we don't want to freak them out.
Light bills, what are those?
Right. So I was that person. No, so, we practice a little bit, but, with Achilles, no. Love him. No. No, you can't.
Yeah.
He's 5, turning 6. He
I would
needs
say,
a lot of guidance for things.
I would say this because of the family dynamic and the situation that he's being brought up in causes for a different type of communication style. So Yvonne and Ray at 5, their maturity level was higher because that was single parent, 5 years of growing up kind of in a single parent type of thing. So the expectation and what you're capable of doing, those conversations will be a little bit different. So they will be a little bit more consensual.
So I don't see
protective. I'm just saying.
No offense. I don't see how that would be different for Achilles.
Because he's in a household with two people.
Now.
So no, he's always been in a household with more than one person.
Okay, that's right. He has always had 2 adult.
Or 3 or 4.
Okay,
so
okay,
it's
that's right.
different.
Okay,
so it's more so he still has the true innocence of a 5-year-old.
Right, I
the
guess.
true fun kid, and how do I do it? You know, Yvonne and Ray, they did not do
because
that.
half of him doing that is he just wants them to do it for him.
So it's just like, okay. So I just think that causes for a different type of communication style.
Yeah, I know he does. Let me see. He does need a lot. I guess it would be more so protective. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With him, and it's not that we. I mean, I guess you could say we don't trust, but it's not necessarily we don't trust him. He's just not yet at a level of understanding where if you ask him I don't know, think of a question. Do you want to eat this whole bag of candy for dinner? Yes would be his answer.
But with Yvonne and Ray, at that age, it would be like, no. But that's only because they've had 5 years in this type of raising and communication style.
Understanding that you will get a stomach ache. Your teeth will hurt. Yeah. Tomorrow will also be a bad day for you. For him, it's like, yeah, sure, candy. Let's do it.
I don't ever have to drink juice again. Let's go.
Juice, water?
Water again? I meant to say water.
Yeah.
Water again? Let's go. Juice, smoothie, shake it up every day.
Everything but.
Soda?
So, I mean, he's getting there. He's definitely getting there.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure he likes it. Because I'm definitely trying, I know me personally, I'm trying to move from the protective into the more consensual. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, you give me your input too. So that way, he'll have the practice so we can start moving him up. And it just seems like he's like, no. Like you said, I don't know how to do it. We talked about that 2 minutes ago, and you did it.
Yeah. Literally.
I don't know.
Literally. But yeah, so I think
he needs to be a boss, otherwise I'm sorry.
But I think that plays a role in it. I think that the family dynamic, I think that plays a role in the type of communication that's delivered when it comes to raising a child or just having conversations with a child. I think too much of protective, too much of conformity shuts children down a little bit until they're not as confident as speaking what they're truly feeling or thinking about any given topic.
Or, you could be the opposite. And you've had a little bit extra consensual, or they've gone to another household where they're experiencing more of a laissez-faire, where they don't actually have to ask, and they're just open and talking about everything all willy-nilly to whoever they want to, and it's like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
So,
but that comes with sending your kid to school.
No.
Your kid goes to school and they hear about birds and bees or whatever, because that family is they converse about anything,
right?
At any given moment. And so now you're coming back and you have a 6-year-old. Well, the baby came out of Jack came out of Susan's stomach, and it's just like, how did that happen? They said, what?
Yeah.
But you're 6. How do you know about these things? So it's just.
Who told you?
Yeah. And even for us, there might be some people look at us, be like, y'all talk about that with your 10-year-old? Y'all. So it's just.
Yes.
And our stuff ain't even that to the example that I gave.
Yeah.
But it's just everyone's at a different pace when it comes to raising, their kids. So you always gotta have a clean mixture of communication styles.
And yeah, it's a balancing act, and sometimes, sometimes things just don't balance very well. Sometimes they get tipped a little bit, and you gotta work to bring it back to equal. And that's just part of life. Everything isn't always perfectly balanced. Sometimes you gotta add, subtract, do all sorts of everything.
Teeter-totter. But yeah, with blending families, I would say it may not be an exact mirror example of our situation, but with a blended family, you could potentially be in this, I'm raising my child and we're communicating in the laissez-faire. Like whatever it is that you want to do, go ahead and do it. Candy, sugar, clean your room, don't. Who cares? Because that individual might be trying to be the fun parent.
Right.
The fun parent, the best friend, or whatever the case may be. All that's doing is crippling if that child is accustomed to being in a more protective, consensual type of environment. That can cause a lot of confusion on what life is really going to be like when you grow up. Because when you grow up, yes, you can do all of these things. But when you're in that household that's teaching you got to clean your room, you got to do this, you got to pay that bill, you got to do that. But you're over here, laissez-faire life, that's going to clash when you get out in the real world. Because you feel you can do whatever it is that you want to do because you were raised that way. You weren't taught any type of structure or anything. So now it's just, in the sense, let's go financial. I got money to blow on everything.
Right.
But here come all these bills. What are bills? I have to pay these? So you lost the structure, because in the structure of consensual and protective, which is what we go for, which is pretty much a synonym for hot seat. It's pretty much a synonym for hot seat. You're going to learn each and every one of those things. But if
you'll have a good foundation that will help you outside of your primary home.
But if you're having fun time in the laissez-faire, and at some point, in the blended family, the child can be like, oh, I want to go live with mom because she's laissez-faire, or dad.
Well, they're not
going to say that. I'm just saying.
She lets me do what I want to do.
Yeah, so now you go over there, and then now you get sent out from the world with that last experience.
Right. But then for the opposite view of that, being too protective could also be a detriment, because then the child has to be able to grow and to be confident in themselves and making decisions so that when they're out in the world. But if you're always making the decisions for them and not giving them any opportunity to do so, then where will they be? Out in the world looking around like,
what's the name of that movie? That's
I need help for everything.
That movie, Tyler Perry, Good Deeds. I think that's it.
I did not see that.
Good Deeds. So he was more in a protective style. This is what you're going to do, conformity. You're going to live this life. You're going to be the head of this. You're going to run dad's company. Bam, boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
Now as you're getting on, he's a grown man running a Fortune 500 company. And he's just like, now he just breaks from that shell because you can't take it anymore. This is decades long. Now he's going into,
I'm going to do what I want to do.
I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Of course, he knows he ain't just gonna blow all the money and all that
right.
stuff. But
he still has good business sense.
Still got good business sense. Still got good life sense. Pay bills, all that other stuff. But now it's just like, I really want to do what I want to do. That could be dangerous because it could lead into nightlife. In the movie, he doesn't lead to nightlife. He's just, I want to go Africa, motorcycling, see the world. But for other people, that could break into doing bad extracurricular.
Doing and or being in not the right places.
Exactly.
So what I can say from looking at this article, from reviewing it, from talking through it with you and with all of you, is that like most things, even though we share kind of the same types
of communication
and
raising,
right, we still have differences within that. So my protective is not necessarily the same as his protective. Or to be absolutely honest, my protective is more protective than his protective. And then consensual, he's more consensual than, yeah, I know. He's more consensual, I would say, than I am. With the differential of there are particular topics where I'm more consensual. Like I'm like, no, include them. He's like, nah, no.
Like what?
Really?
Yeah.
Do you really want me to say it out loud?
Like what?
I want you to think.
We gotta be transparent for the people now. Like what?
Like the conversation with Yvonne in the room.
Oh, about the mops.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well.
About her.
Our beginning.
Yes.
Yeah, because she's not old enough to know the minute details of what was transpiring at that time. She's still a child version.
Okay.
She feels it's time.
I didn't say it's time to tell her everything. But you could definitely give her more than what you've given her.
I did
One,
give her a lot.
And two, when she's 16 years old, 17 years old, about to graduate high school, is not the time to tell her. Because she will be able to understand way before then.
I don't know, we'll see.
So that's one example. Yeah, that's one example.
So how am I, you said you're more protective or I'm less?
I said I'm more protective than
way?
you are. Because I am the rules person. These are the rules. And there is one that these kids, every morning, and I'm to the point where it's like, I'm just going to ignore you until your brain reminds you, wait, you are supposed to wake up, potty if you need to, brush your funky breath, and
funky.
Wash your face.
She didn't say funky, she said funky.
Yes.
With the O-U.
You go do that first. Then you can start to inquire about breakfast.
Then you can talk to me in my face
or
so I can
hi.
breathe minty freshness.
Like, but these kids become encrusted, their eyes on the side of their mouth, hair doing all sorts of tricks.
One eye up, the other eye
Can we
down.
have breakfast? And it's not can we have breakfast, it's just airy, just can we have, no, go brush your teeth. I have rules.
It's radioactive. It's radioactive air you're giving me.
I have rules, and fresh breath is number one. Number one. But no, I am more of the rule setter. I am more of the routine person. I'm not a very super spontaneous. I have my occasions, which they all love, because then they like laugh because it's random and that doesn't ever happen. But for the most part, I'm very routine. I have the rules. It's like, do you want me to print them out for you, kind of a thing. It's, they're set in stone. Whereas you are a bit more laid back. You still have the protective, but you're a bit more laid. Like, everything doesn't have to happen
in a timely manner.
It should happen in a timely manner.
Well, I'm just saying, because you'll say, go brush your teeth, or go clean your room. It needs to get done. The expectation is it needs to get done now.
Well, yes.
As to where me, I'm like, I told you, when it pops back in my head and I decide to walk in the room, it needs to be clean. Because obviously, massive amount of time has passed.
Right.
Why is it not done?
Yeah, for you it's more so sometime today, and for me it's like, I just told you this. Why did you not go to do it? Go clean your room, Mama Q says. That means now. Go clean it now. Floyd L says, go clean your room. That means sometime today the room should be clean. Most likely before dinner time, because that's when it's going to be coming in. Hey, you guys, time for dinner. Why did you clean the room? So, because you literally had all day. So, Yeah, I think I'm more strict with the protective area than you are.
Yeah.
Even though we both have our protective tendencies.
Yeah, and because and I would say based on your work schedule is different.
Yes.
Because me, I'll tell you to do something in the morning, but you won't see me to the evening. So I'm more so like, all right, that's plenty of time to get the checklist done. Why? What happened? As to where you could you'll say what needs to be, whatever needs to get done when you've gotten back in the morning. And now it's like you deal with interruption during the day, so your check-in time is a lot quicker than mine.
Right, that's true.
So it's just like you need to get it done now.
Right, that's true.
Because I know somebody, aka Prince, actual name Achilles, is gonna bother me just seconds before I get to rim.
Without fail.
So I'm gonna jump myself awake and then have to get up. It still ain't done.
Yeah.
So yeah, the check-in time is a lot faster.
Yeah, that is true.
And nurses, the lifestyle, you don't play around.
Because I was gonna say, even before working nights, when I would be working my 410s during the daytime, I mean, obviously not then, but when I was off, on my off days, it was, okay, these are the things we're going to do. I have a saying with, that Ray and I have always had, and now the kids and I have, and it's, when it's time to work, we work, and when it's time to play, we play. So work comes first. You get all your work done, then you have the whole rest of the day to do whatever fun thing you want to do, aka my time. Leave me alone. Because normally while they're working, I'm in there, no, don't do, oh, that's not how you fold that. I'm in there managing, so we're just together doing all of the things. And so then it's like, okay, everything is done, we ate, we have lunch. Great, get your snack at 3:00, see y'all for dinner, and I'm gonna go read a book, I'm gonna go read my Bible, I'm just gonna go take a nap, I'm just gonna go sit down and quiet.
Why didn't you say nap first? That's your honorable mention love language.
It is, but because it depends, because I'm there helping them with their work, I might still have to do my work after. So,
gotcha.
If my work is already done and they didn't really need my help, then yes, the first thing that happens is I'm going to take a 20-minute nap, which turns into about an hour and a half nap. And then after that, I might read a book, read my Bible, and just, yeah.
And it's not she's doing needs. It's probably more likely one of those things, because then it's...
I said or read my book or read my Bible.
And then there's cooking.
Yeah.
There's cooking time after that.
Yeah. So, but I mean, to me that makes sense. You wake up, use the bathroom if you have to, brush your teeth, wash your face, you get ready for your day, you do whatever work it is you have to do after you have your breakfast, and then after that, you have the rest of the day to yourself to do whatever it is that you want, within reason, of course, because again, we've been having COVID, and now there's the Delta, and yeah, so... Like, can we go inside? No.
Speaking of which, we should fly somewhere, because Delta should be cheap.
Anyways. Achilles would be all over that, because that's always his own. What do you want to do? Can we go on a plane? That costs money. Like a lot. That's just not a casual suggestion.
He wants to get on the plane like you have to walk to go to the bathroom. Like, it should be that easy. We just want to go and get on the plane. What?
Yeah, can we get on a plane?
But that would be dope if Delta was super cheap, because Delta variant of COVID, that would be dope, because we'd be flying everywhere. And then Achilles would be happy, because it'd be $29.99 per person.
Come here.
Southwest prices.
Come here.
No, I'm not coming.
Yes, you deserve it.
So, I'm going
to deserve that.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. I would
Yeah.
want to be first class though.
Oh, then it'd be 92, 99. Instead of 29, they flipped the numbers.
There you go. But yeah, so definitely check out this. You're gonna do the whole thing, or you're gonna do just the diagram?
What do you mean the whole thing? We
The
went
whole
over.
article?
Yeah, we went over each one.
No, you're gonna see, I don't know the words. Pin it, post it, put it on the bottom.
Oh yeah,
Stick it
the
to-
diagram. The diagram would be in the corner, on the opposite side. So it'd be
Oh, well,
on the left side.
on the screen.
Yeah, the whole time while we're talking. But I'll drop the link of the article so you guys can read it,
There you go.
discuss it, see where you guys are at, and yeah, those conversation period is what's very important.
So now, just to be specific, this conversation,
Yeah. Communication.
this communication article is focusing on families.
Yeah, family communication.
Yeah, family. Now, as the majority, well, as we know, and I'm pretty sure the majority of the people who are watching this, when it comes to intimate partner relationships, significant others, and marriages, spouses,
Oh, we're getting into that?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
it's going to be a quick mention because it's been talked about so much. So you have a different communication type of model, and that would be the 5 love languages. And that kind of helps you to make sure that you're communicating effectively between your partner. Yes, you are being open, you're being transparent, you're being honest, vulnerable, you're doing those things, but you're also making sure that you're filling their love tank. And so expressing in a way where they understand according to how they understand love. So, 5 love languages is more so your intimate partnerships, and then this is more so talking about family dynamics. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Which is why we I don't know, I just feel like saying this because some people miss stuff. Communication is not just verbal, it's also in action. So that's why I was glad that you brought in love language. Because love language isn't just, depending on the person's love language, say it's acts of service, right?
You have to do.
You have to actually do something.
Right.
Even if it's communicating, that's still a verb. You're actually doing something to keep the intimacy in your marriage. It's the same thing with families. This is why we talked about the raising style, how a child is raised up can somewhat, in my opinion, determine the type of communication that's being delivered.
I was gonna say, communication is a verb itself.
Yeah.
It does require action. As a recipient, you want to actively listen and listen to understand, not just to respond. And part of communication isn't necessarily the words that you speak. There's also the non-verbal communication. So the way that you say, what your tone is, the way you hold your body,
Your face,
your face,
your eyes,
my face tells on me all the time.
lips,
Yeah, so I love you.
hand gestures.
Like, really? Because your face did not say that you love me. So, all of that encompasses how someone is going to receive what you're trying to communicate to them. So those are things to be mindful for, because sometimes people don't realize that although you can mean something in a certain way, it can be received, it can be taken the wrong way, and it's because of the words you chose to use, the way you chose to speak your words. It's like, well, your tone suggested that you had attitude. So,
Yep.
So,
I'd rather you text it, because then I couldn't feel the attitude.
Right.
Unless it was in all caps.
right, there,
So
then
it's
that's
just-
apparently you're yelling. But yeah, so, the communication, it's so simple, yet there are so many components to it that can
Gotta be cognizant
what's the word
of it all.
so many components that you can overlook, that you can be miscommunicating something to somebody. So
Yeah.
you've got this diagram and article for family communication. You've got 5 love languages for
Which is a
intimate-
book. You guys can
Yes.
get into it whenever you
Intimate
feel
partner relationships, and then you also have to be mindful of your tone, your word choice, and your body language during communication.
Yes.
No close body language.
Yeah.
Actually, in this house, this is taken as a sign of having an attitude, which is hilarious because one time we were around our friends, and Jordan, she had her arms crossed, and Achilles comes up to me and he's like, "Mama Q, why is Jordan mad?" Just because she's just relaxed, but she has her arms crossed, so he's like, she has an attitude, like she's mad. I'm like, she's not mad, she's comfortable that way. He's like, oh.
Just relax. Just relax.
Yeah.
Oh, and also when it comes to communication, these can be also sign of body behavior, interest, paying attention to conversation or not. So that's something I have been working on.
Yeah.
And have witnessed, with other people out and about. Oh yeah. What'd you say? We're all talking. Why are you even on your phone? We're having a conversation. If you're not interested, just leave the room.
This, all electronics, or
Yes.
as an old teacher of mine used to say, Miss Peterson, all matters of I-ness.
Oh man. Wow. So we use we've developed our relationship and our family blending is honest, open, transparent communication. So it's really hot, and then we communicate.
Communication. It's hot communication.
Yeah. So it's exactly what it says. We're trying to develop the topic freely type of conversation, whatever it is, and we will respond accordingly at your maturity level.
Right.
At your maturity level. Whenever I feel comfortable giving more on the example that you brought up,
Yeah, on that
then
example.
more will be given. But yes, we really want to have an people speaking truthfully, but being honest with themselves, honest with their mind frame, and when they made a certain decision, why were you thinking of that? Creating the open environment, the space to where you can communicate what it is that you want, and speaking it clearly, so that way everyone understands we're all on the same page with being transparent, understanding your intentions behind what it is that you're trying to say, which takes constant communication and purpose, intention of understanding an individual and their heart. So that way when they say something, you're not going to automatically think
a desire of the recipient.
Yeah, you're not going to automatically think the opposite. Like, oh no, they're trying to use and abuse me, or whatever the case may be. You understand where that person's coming from, and you can take that meaning rather than going the opposite way.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we've covered just about it.
We covered just about everything. So now you know about our HOTC, diving further deep into it, and to learning more about where we fall in the family communication
styles,
patterns theory.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, family communications patterns theory, and our style of communication. Why we chose it? Because we felt it was best, given our past experiences in other relationships and family upbringing,
right,
as that this will be the best direction forward as one unit, not 2 units or 3 units or
4.
No, my next number was going to be, okay, you got his mom, you got her mom, her dad, you, me, 5, because of different parents, different ideas, just
got it.
Moving forward, 1, all of us, all 5 parents, 1.
That is a larger feat to be continuously worked on.
Yeah.
For the future
Of
development
course.
of
course.
1.
of one direction.
As long as in this house we are one, we're
Yes.
good though.
Yeah, we're good here. Expand it out because we're all a family. Blended family goes beyond.
A blended family does go beyond just in this house.
Yes.
But my point is, as long as in this house we are on one accord, in oneness,
Yeah.
no matter what happens outside of this house,
Yeah.
we are okay.
And if you're not on one accord, you're on two accords, then you take the both of you into a room and then come back on one accord. And you come back on one accord.
Silly.
Because that's going to keep the relationship strong, and the children have a living, walking, breathing example. So they can
I don't know.
do as you do. Do as you do. What is it? Say what I.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, so they can do as you say and do as you do.
Right.
Because
And
they're
yes,
giving the best example.
we know and understand that it's easy to say, take the two of yourself, or take yourselves into a room and come out in oneness. We know that sometimes you might have to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
We know.
This
we
podcast
understand.
proves it. We've talked about the same thing a couple of times.
And, things might come right back around. It just depends on life and situations and
Stubbornness and all these other things.
being able to apply concepts from previous conversations to new things, new situations. So, well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for tuning in and hopefully commenting. Email us if you'd like. All the good things.
Any questions you got? It's hot, right? We're going to be hot in our responses. So anything you got to say, you can join the Patreon any single time. The link is always in the description. But we want to end with this. The shirts that we have on are just not random shirts. They're purposeful. Because we really, really, really want you guys who watch, who may stumble upon this video, if there is time left, to make sure you go to the Slightly Problematic Take 2 tour.
Yes.
Because literally in the marriage, you can only have two people from our beliefs. But there is another shirt that just isn't present. So we got the More Mob, which is to hear more.
We have the Angel Wings. That's That Chick Angel.
And then we have the Stage Crew, which is the headliner of the tour, Mr. Kev on stage.
Just don't have it on.
We don't have it on. I could have put it on there and then ripped it off, but
You're silly.
I like the More Mob shirt.
No, the
here,
next time we do one, we'll just both wear it.
Yeah, we'll do that on the next podcast. But yeah, make sure you guys go support them. They're on Instagram, That Chick Angel, to hear more, Kev on stage, Facebook, all the platforms as far as I know. I'm not on all of them, to be honest. Yeah. Make sure you download the app. They're all a part of the app.
Kev on Stage Studios.
Kev on Stage Studio. All platforms, you can download that thing. It's free, as Mr. Kev on Stage said. It's free. Download it for free for 7 days and then cancel it after 25 years. So just support them. Support them any way you want. But yeah, make sure you catch them. The tour. The comedy show is hilarious. They're on tour. I hope he decides to add a Los Angeles so we can just go see it again.
That would be so awesome.
That would be awesome. So, but get them while you can, because once they're out, they're out. They're sold out. Still got the, COVID? Yeah, still got COVID occupancy, so you got to get in there where you can fit in. So hurry. To the next episode.
See ya.